The tale unfolds with a lad named Gio, endeavoring to rouse his sister Sina for the upcoming festival of descending gods. Despite her initial reluctance, Sina eventually stirs, extending her arms for assistance. Yet, Gio insists she get ready independently, reflecting on her perceived spoiled nature. The festival marks their transition to adulthood as they both turn 15, siblings born within months of each other. The siblings' mothers, driven by disdain for their father's behavior, departed years ago, leaving Gio and Sina to fend for themselves. Their father, a remarkable adventurer, passed away a decade prior, leaving them to navigate life together. As they make their way to the festival, Sina ponders the gifts they might receive. Gio yearns for something useful for his aspiring adventuring dreams. Upon reaching the festival, they partake in the customary prayers, hoping to receive divine blessings as the sun ascends. While fervently praying for an adventuring boon, Gio is bestowed with a peculiar gift, home garden. The ceremony concludes, and Sina, curious about Gio's gift, learns that she has been blessed with the favor of the sword god. Despite the unknown nature of Gio's gift, Sina believes it could be useful if mastered. Annie and Sifa, childhood friends and seasoned adventurers, join the conversation. Sina contemplates adventuring, and Gio, feeling burdened by his seemingly unimpressive gift, encourages her to pursue her dreams. Sina, now resolute, decides to become an adventurer, bidding Gio farewell with a promise to amass wealth in her youth and lays around in later years. Alone with his thoughts, Gio wanders into their yard, contemplating the uselessness of his gift. A mysterious voice prompts him to designate a garden, leading to the unexpected creation of a lush garden before his eyes. Confused yet intrigued, Gio starts cultivating various crops, realizing the potential of his newfound ability. Returning an hour later, Gio discovers a transformed, bountiful garden. With a mere thought, he initiates the harvesting process. His gift, home garden, allows him to cultivate and harvest in an hour what would typically take months. Delighting in the sweet and juicy fruits, Gio realizes the potential of his unique ability. Meanwhile, Sina, Sifa, and Annie embark on their adventuring journey, exploring a dungeon under the Lord of Arcel's control. Sina, a novice, faces her first monster, a goblin, showcasing surprising prowess with a sword. That night, Sina returns, having successfully battled monsters, while Gio prepares a lavish dinner using the homegrown vegetables. Gio, envious of adventurers with seemingly more useful gifts, discovers the potential to grow meat using magical stones that Sina collects during her adventures. As Sina continues to excel in her newfound role, Gio contemplates the possibilities of his home garden gift, realizing its extraordinary usefulness. The story unfolds, blending the mundane and the magical in the siblings' journey of self-discovery. Gio was filled with anticipation as he prepared his garden for the arrival of Sifa and Annie. Determined to make a lasting impression, he put extra effort into making the garden look extraordinary. Once the work was completed, the garden no longer resembled a typical one. Sina, appreciative of his efforts, handed him a magic stone she had discovered in the dungeon. Grateful for the gift, Gio decided to use the magic stone to level up the garden. To his surprise, the garden underwent a magical transformation, expanding in size and offering a variety of new crops for cultivation. Among these were unfamiliar plants like great burdock, shiso, and sweet potatoes. Even Sana, a seasoned companion, was unfamiliar with these additions. Undeterred, Gio planted them, and soon a plethora of new vegetables sprouted. The sweet potatoes, in particular, left them astonished with their vibrant color. As Gio cooked and they tasted the potatoes, joy filled the air. The flavor was exceptional, sweet, and satisfying. Sina pledged to gather more magic stones, and Gio reveled in the newfound motivation of his previously lazy sister. Days later, Saifi and Annie arrived, drawn by Sina's praises. Gio, captivated by Saifi, inadvertently overlooked Annie. The visitors marveled at the garden's beauty and the variety of crops. Sina explained the magic behind the fence and how, upon reaching level 5, Gio acquired the skill of a fence generator, enclosing the entire yard with a beautiful fence. Annie, initially skeptical of the gift's potential, was impressed after seeing the transformed garden. She bombarded Gio with questions and sampled the crops, and Saifi, though seemingly indifferent, expressed her shock at the garden's wonder. Gio, eager to impress Saifi, showcased his meat tree. Annie, astounded by the concept of meat growing on a tree, struggled to comprehend its existence. Gio clarified that his home garden made such miracles possible. The ensuing barbecue, featuring meat harvested from the tree, left Annie and Saifi astonished yet delighted. Gio's gift continued to shine as he presented a sweet potato tart for dessert, another culinary marvel. Saifi, beaming with joy, praised the incredible garden. In this moment, Gio was left momentarily speechless, realizing that he had successfully brought a genuine smile to Saifi's face for the first time. Despite a momentary slip of inappropriate words, Gio was relieved that his gift allowed him to please Saifi and witness her genuine happiness. Annie suggested the idea of using the excess produce in her family's restaurant, providing a practical outlet for Gio's bountiful harvest. As the scene shifted, Gio walked towards Annie's restaurant, contemplating the possibilities that his extraordinary garden could bring. With 2 bags brimming with a colorful array of vegetables and carefully selected cuts of meat in his hands, Gio couldn't suppress his astonishment upon witnessing the bustling crowd gathered in front of the new establishment across from their own family restaurant. As a waitress approached Gio to offer assistance, the air of surprise heightened when Annie, appearing out of nowhere, scolded him for succumbing to the allure of their newfound competition. Upon reaching the entrance of Annie's family restaurant, Gio was taken aback to find it eerily empty. Inquiring about its operational status, Annie explained the unfortunate turn of events. A rival had set up shop, pilfering their once loyal customer base. Despite Gio and Sina being frequent patrons, witnessing the desolation of the place was genuinely heart-wrenching for him. Annie's parents were often away on extended trips, leaving her sister, Alicia, to shoulder the responsibility of managing the restaurant. A resilient and kind-hearted woman, Alicia had been diligently assisting with the family business for quite some time. In the midst of their conversation, Alicia, clad in a daring apron, made a grand entrance, warmly welcoming them. Annie couldn't help but scold her sister for the provocative outfit, but Alicia justified her choice, citing the financial strain caused by the competition. She cheekily asked Gio if her appearance sparked any interest, but before he could respond sensibly, Annie interjected with a comment about her sister's chest size, sparking a humorous exchange. Shifting the conversation, Alicia acknowledged her responsibility to keep the restaurant afloat, especially since Annie was often away adventuring. Expressing her deep connection to the place, Annie resolved to help without relying on seduction, emphasizing the allure of her culinary skills. However, the duo realized that their menu lacked distinction and the storefront appeared dull. Gio was incredulous at the extent of Alicia's worries. Offering a helping hand, Gio explained his visit. Annie had requested assistance with his home garden. When he unveiled his produce, including exotic items like great burdock and shiso, along with a bag of rare rice, Alicia was genuinely astounded. Taking the challenge to revitalize the restaurant, Annie encouraged Alicia to create a dish using these unique ingredients. Gio marveled at her cooking prowess, with the main hurdle being the preparation of the rare rice. After numerous failed attempts, the rice finally achieved perfection, complementing the delectable dishes crafted by the 2 sisters. Word spread, and soon, hungry patrons lined up outside Lucas, attracted by Annie's invitation to savor their highly recommended new menu. Gio served the crowd with potato salad, meat rolls featuring great burdock and shiso, hearty vegetable soup, and, notably, the exceptional rice. The patrons, delighted by the unexpected culinary treasures, praised Annie and Alicia's charming face. The commotion inside reached the ears of those outside, further fueling curiosity. The restaurant became inundated with customers, and despite the chaos, Alicia wore a radiant smile. As the day concluded, Alicia expressed gratitude to Gio for his invaluable assistance, transforming the recent nightmare of impending closure into a hopeful reality. Relieved and content, Gio encouraged Alicia to maintain the momentum. In a final declaration of support, he praised Lucas for not just its great food, but also its spectacular owners. In the midst of their conversation, Alicia expressed her intention to use Gio's ingredients for her restaurant and assured him that she would pay him fairly. However, Gio, being the generous soul he was, insisted it wasn't necessary. This sparked a heated exchange, with Alicia vehemently refusing to take advantage of their friendship in business matters. She even offered to pay twice the market rate for the high-quality ingredients. Gio, unwavering in his kindness, suggested that she pay the current market price, with the possibility of revisiting the discussion when she had more financial stability. Alicia, seemingly charmed by Gio, shifted the conversation to his views on Safi came to mind, and Gio, somewhat flustered, muttered praises for older women. This prompted Alicia to playfully ask if he'd like to date her. Annie, who had been eavesdropping, intervened with a stern warning to stop teasing Gio, referring to him as an overly trusting idiot. Undeterred, Alicia whispered a teasing threat to Annie about making a move on Gio, causing him to blush and attempt to play it cool. After Alicia left, Annie and Gio discussed the events, with Annie advising Gio to be cautious about revealing his extraordinary gift to too many people. She expressed concerns about potential exploitation and urged him to limit the circle of those aware of his unique ability. Gio promised to be careful, and Annie, downplaying her concern for him, suggested that any harm to him would be detrimental to their restaurant. Meanwhile, a few days later, a keen-eyed girl observed the growing line at Lucas and suspected that Gio, the restaurant's owner, harbored a secret that attracted customers. This sparked her business instincts, and she decided to investigate further. In the next scene, Sina, Gio's sister, approached him about the crow problem plaguing their garden. Despite Gio's reservations, Sina, armed with a sword, proposed exterminating the crows. Gio, believing the crows were intimidated by Sina, reluctantly agreed. To protect the garden, Gio decided to use magic stones to level up, expanding the garden area. During this endeavor, Gio encountered a mysterious girl named Lyricaleria, a merchant who had heard rumors about the delectable food at Lucas. She was intrigued by the restaurant's ingredients and followed Gio to inquire further. After tasting apples from Gio, Lyricaleria proposed a business deal, acting as an intermediary for Gio's products. Suspicious yet intrigued, Gio cautiously agreed to explore this opportunity. Lyricaleria suggested a magic contract to bind their promises, especially regarding Gio's unique gift. Despite initial unease, Gio signed the contract, solidifying their magical agreement. Lyricaleria, eager to delve into business discussions, accompanied Gio to his home garden. Upon witnessing the miraculous growth of meat, vegetables, fruits, and mushrooms, Lyricaleria was genuinely astonished. Gio, however, couldn't shake the feeling that there might be more to Lyricaleria than meets the eye. Despite his reservations, the two continued their conversation, with Lyricaleria expressing interest in Gio's various crops, including recently unlocked fish. As Gio collected fish, he admitted his lack of culinary skills in preparing them. Seizing the opportunity, Lyricaleria offered to cook the fish as a symbol of their newfound friendship. While Gio pondered the authenticity of Lyricaleria's intentions, she skillfully prepared the fish, deepening their connection. In the midst of culinary endeavors, she shared her aspirations of becoming an adventurer with Gio. While the home garden was a splendid gift, it didn't serve the purpose of aiding in adventures. Engaged in conversation, they prepared the fish to perfection, with the aroma promising a delectable experience. To Gio's surprise, the taste of the fish transcended that of dried fish, offering a subtle yet profound flavor. Lyricaleria, with her accent, marveled at the deliciousness, leading to a discussion about their culinary success. Despite her initial apology for the accent, Gio reassured her, expressing relief that everything turned out well. They debated over whose contribution made the meal exceptional, eventually laughing at their friendly dispute. Lyricaleria, preferring familiarity, suggested being called Laruka. As they contemplated expanding the garden, a flock of crows returned to disrupt their tranquility. Armed with a shovel, Gio attempted to fend them off, but when unsuccessful, he unveiled a newfound skill, guardian creation. A colossal golem emerged, driving away the crows and showcasing Gio's unique ability. Larusa, amused by the spectacle, pondered the absurdity of his skill. Grateful for the protection, Gio envisioned a future of growing fish without worry. As Larusa departed for business matters, Gio's peaceful life resumed. Days later, Laruka returned, expressing gratitude for the previous incident. In a surprising turn, she gifted Gio the adjacent plot of land, emphasizing its potential for expanding his garden. Despite Gio's financial constraints, Laruka insisted it was a gift and foresaw mutual benefits. With the garden secured by the golem, Gio's trust in Laruka deepened. She proposed demolishing the nearby abandoned house, but Gio, confident in his gift, assured her it was unnecessary. Sina, shocked by the garden's expansion, learned of the land transfer, unlocking opportunities for diverse crops and innovative creations. Amidst golem antics, Gio considered planting new crops and discovered his ability to cultivate medicinal plants. Learning of an elixir ingredient called I Am, needed by the apothecary Saibai, Gio swiftly harvested it. Upon reaching the apothecary, he found an eerie, seemingly abandoned place. Inside, a little boy named Dennis, dressed in a maid costume, claimed to be the shopkeeper's assistant. Marlene, the peculiar shop owner, insisted it was Dennis's special uniform. Despite Gio's confusion, he complimented Dennis, unaware that Dennis was actually a boy. Marlene corrected him, labeling Dennis as a femby boy, leaving Gio bewildered. Despite the eccentric encounter, Gio revealed the I Am, solving their ingredient shortage. In this whimsical tale, Gio's life unfolded, blending culinary exploits, gardening endeavors, and unexpected encounters with unique characters. Marlene marveled at the incredibly fresh iwam brimming with mana she had never seen before. Excited by the prospect, she shared with Gio that using such high-quality iwam could enable her to create high-grade potions with exceptional effectiveness. Gio, unfamiliar with the potion grades, sought clarification from Dennis, who explained the distinctions among high, mid, and low-grade potions based on their potency. Marlene's unique gift allowed her to discern the potion quality just by sight, a skill that Dennis found impressive. However, as Gio hesitantly approached Marlene with a favor, he couldn't help but feel a nervous energy. He disclosed his intention to sell the iwam at a reasonable price, requesting Marlene to prioritize selling potions to his sister's party. To Gio's surprise, Marlene agreed to his proposal, albeit with a condition. She humorously insisted on being the first to win Dennis's affections. Leaving the shop, Gio wondered about Marlene's perception of him, but trusted her for the potions. His thoughts turned to the idea of Saibai thanking him for the potions and expressing her love. Meanwhile, Dennis suggested to Marlene that she could have asked for more goods in exchange for the valuable iwam. Marlene, however, refrained from doing so, contemplating the mysterious source of Gio's iwam. As Marlene brewed the potion, she realized that the iwam's quality surpassed expectations, resulting in an extraordinary potion. Unwilling to let such a potent potion leave her shop as is, Marlene decided to dilute it. Meanwhile, Saien approached her brother, excitedly informing him of the healing potions she acquired at a good price, expressing Saibai's gratitude and interest in thanking him. In the dungeon, Saien and the girls faced a formidable monster. Saibai showcased her skills, and thanks to the healing potions, they triumphed effortlessly. Later, they encountered injured adventurers, and with the help of Gio's potions, they attracted the attention of Eliza, a skilled adventurer. Eliza praised Marlene's skills, and the group was left wondering about the source of the extraordinary grade potions. Days later, Gio returned to the apothecary to sell more iwam. Marlene mentioned that they had gained fame for their highly effective potions thanks to Gio's iwam. The news of their success reached Saien, further highlighting the extraordinary efficacy of the potions. As Gio continued his transactions, the mystery surrounding his iwam and Marlene's exceptional potions deepened. Saibai couldn't believe how unexpectedly useful Gio's concoction had turned out to be for others. Expressing his happiness, he brought over a ton more of the potion. Marlene, observing him, was informed by Dennis that Gio had brought more iwam. She thanked him with a subtle smile, acknowledging the countless lives saved thanks to his healing potion, even though she had to sell a diluted version. Gio, modestly claiming to only collect the iwam, insisted he didn't mix the potion. Dennis supported his statement, praising Marlene's incredible skills. Flattered by the compliments, Marlene thanked Gio again. He promised to bring more iwam soon and returned home. Saien arrived, bringing magic stones and explaining how Gio's potion had significantly aided their progress in the dungeon. Surprised by the unforeseen benefits, Gio realized the potential of the magic stones, leading to the discovery of a mysterious monster egg. Intrigued, Gio decided to grow the egg, contemplating the possibility of raising a baby monster. Liruka, who came to pick up the harvest, inquired about Gio's connection to the famous potions, and he acknowledged it while showing her the valuable herbs. Curious about living with monsters, Gio learned from Liruka that selling living monsters was rare, as monsters were inherently feral and incompatible with humans. Nervous but determined, Gio wondered if he could defeat a baby monster in an emergency. Saien shared her experiences, revealing the ferocity of some monsters. Disappointed that humans and monsters couldn't easily coexist, Gio pondered the idea of befriending monsters like his golems. Trying to change the topic, Gio mentioned Sina's tendency to laze around when she's home. Though not lonely, Gio felt the absence of his parents since childhood, and now with Sina being an adventurer. The next day, Gio checked on the egg, finding it cold. Worried about its well-being, he warmed it up and decided to sleep beside it. As he whispered reassurances, the egg cracked, and a weak but adorable baby monster, resembling a furry cat, Gio, overjoyed, named it Milk and cared for it, making it a part of his life. When Sina returned, she noticed the cat and learned about Gio's decision to adopt it. Despite some initial resistance, she eventually grew fond of Milk. The secret of Milk hatching from a monster egg remained undisclosed. As Gio's family expanded, he found even greater satisfaction in cultivating and delivering goods. On a visit to Marlene's shop, he brought an assortment of rare herbs, surprising them with the variety. Marlene explained the potential of an ice-cold potion providing resistance to fire and heat, suitable for challenging the volcanic area in the dungeon. Meanwhile, Sina and her party ventured into the volcanic area, facing the challenges of the intricately interconnected dungeon. Saifa elucidated the complexities of the dungeon's layout. The narrative left Gio contemplating the newfound growth of his family and the unexpected adventures his skills in cultivation had brought into his life. As they ventured beyond the known territories, the landscape shifted dramatically, presenting diverse challenges in the form of the forest area, the ruins area, the underwater area, and now the treacherous volcanic area. Each region harbored distinct environments and creatures. The underwater area, deemed the most formidable, remained unconquered, while the volcanic area, second only to the underwater depths in severity, beckoned with its uncharted dangers. An inquisitive Sina probed about the conquerors, individuals who triumphed over the lurking bosses within each area. Ani elucidated that such conquerors gained notoriety, reaping exceptional rewards for their feat. The allure lay not only in defeating the formidable boss, but also in obtaining rare resources that commanded high prices. The prospect of becoming conquerors fueled their curiosity. The group faced the challenge of the volcanic area, aware of its harsh conditions. Ani warned that exploration without heat-resistant equipment and the inability to use water magic would prove challenging. Amid discussions about returning home, Saifa revealed an unusual potion, the ice-cold potion, a gift from Marlene. Its unique property bestowed resistance to fire and heat upon consumption, courtesy of a rare ingredient called chili grass from Gio. Eager to test the potion's effects, they drank it, feeling an icy sensation coursing through their bodies. Empowered, they ventured into the volcanic area, unharmed by the scorching heat. Encountering flame dogs, Ani cautioned about their strength, yet Sina, wielding her cold-infused attacks, discovered a newfound advantage. Motivated by this revelation, the group resolved to conquer the volcanic area. Meanwhile, Gio, during his daily tasks, gathered chili grass to aid Saifa's adventures. Experimenting with unused skills, he accidentally triggered a defensive wall, creating an inexplicable fortress around their home. Unsettled by its oddity, he sought to undo the effect and explored new crops, leveling up their. Fatigued from their volcanic exploration, Sina yearned for rest upon returning home. To her surprise, their house and garden seemed to have vanished. Gio, mastering a unique skill, had rendered them invisible to all but himself. Assuring Sina, he decided against using the skill to avoid confusion among neighbors. Relieved, Sina blamed Gio for her weariness, having sold more herbs to Marlene, prompting frequent visits to the volcanic area. As their adventures continued, Gio proposed a feast upon reaching the next stage, suggesting an invitation to Saifa and Ani. Anticipating the celebration, Sina was eager, but Gio, with a mysterious ace up his sleeve, urged patience. After enduring challenging days in the dungeon, the group faced the boss of the volcanic area, Volcano Sina. Intimidated by his formidable presence, they strategized, deciding to consume ice-cold potions before the encounter. Prepared and unified, they launched their assault, with Sina leading the charge against the fiery adversary. The volcano roared, unleashing its fiery breath, and the battle unfolded, marking a formidable chapter in their ongoing saga. In the midst of the intense battle, Sina and Saifa faced their adversary head-on. However, the unexpected occurred when Ani, striking from behind, inflicted significant damage on their foe. The potency of the ice-cold potion they employed was astonishing, creating a formidable synergy that fueled their relentless fight against the formidable volcano. Transitioning to the next scene, Sifa and her party found themselves at the Adventurers Guild, greeted by the receptionist Canalia. Canalia inquired about the new addition to Sifa's group, initially expressing doubts about her strength. However, her skepticism was shattered when Sifa presented the volcano scale as proof of their triumphant subjugation. Canalia, taken aback, couldn't believe their accomplishment, especially considering the dangerous volcanic area. Despite initial concerns about heat-resistant equipment, Annie reassured her, citing the effectiveness of the ice-cold potions. As the group shared their achievements, Cornelia struggled to process the information. The adventurers who assisted in the recovery were astounded by the effectiveness of the potions. Walking towards the volcano, doubts lingered among the onlookers about the possibility of defeating such a formidable foe. Yet, to their surprise, Annie revealed the defeated volcano lying lifeless on the ground. The clean cut on the creature's hard scales left the adventurers in awe, realizing that it was the newcomer, Senna, who had dealt the decisive blow. After completing their tasks for the day, Sina brought a plethora of magic stones to Gio, narrating their victory over the area boss. Impressed, Gio decided to celebrate, preparing a feast with the help of Alicia. The group indulged in the delicious meal, Gio showcasing his culinary skills with high-quality crops. The unexpected quality of the food left them momentarily speechless, prompting Gio to offer an alternative with mid-quality ingredients. As they enjoyed the feast, Sifa and Annie expressed gratitude for the rewards, emphasizing Sina's strength. Despite Gio's attempts to downplay his contribution, they insisted Sina needed no one to look after her. Sifa thanked Gio for the ice-cold potions, acknowledging his significant role in their victory. As they parted ways, Sifa extended her gratitude once more, leaving Gio with a shy invitation for a date the next day. Ecstatic about the upcoming date, Gio prepared for the occasion, anticipating a romantic day with Sifa. When they met, Sifa took charge, guiding them to unexpected locations like Marlene's apothecary and other places that didn't fit Gio's typical image of a date spot. Perplexed but happy to spend time with Sifa, Gio couldn't help but wonder about her intentions. In the end, the date took unexpected turns, leaving Gio both delighted and curious about Sifa's mysterious choices. As he perused the armor and tools, his mind couldn't help but wander into unfamiliar territory. He, who had never been on a date before, found himself in the midst of an unexpected adventure. The setting, however, deviated from his imagined scenes of fashionable clothing shops, as the shop owner excitedly introduced a fresh batch of equipment. Sifa, eager to make a choice, tried on 2 sets of armor, seeking his opinion on which suited her best. But his attention seemed elusive, not because he disapproved, but rather because there was no safe place to fix his gaze. Uttering that she looked best in her usual attire felt like walking on a tightrope. Sifa blushed, feeling a twinge of embarrassment. Their expedition continued to the Adventurers Guild, where Sifa proudly showed him around, offering a glimpse into the basement's training area. As he pondered his luck in being on a date with a B-rank adventurer, the ambience was shattered by a man's voice urging concentration, surrounded by determined individuals engaged in rigorous training. Sifa's gaze lingered on them, and he realized the day might not have felt like a date from the beginning. Attempting to gauge if he was having a good time, Sifa's proposal for sparring revealed another facet of her character. A bystander's attempt at confessing turned out to be a mere request for a training partner, leaving him somewhat disheartened. Yet, witnessing Sifa's prowess in combat left him captivated. The plot thickened when a girl approached Sifa for a training session, which she gracefully declined due to supposed prior commitments. As hunger beckoned, the anticipation of a stylish cafe was replaced by a surprise encounter with Lucas, the best restaurant in Sifa's reckoning. Confusion arose when they were noticed together by Annie, who probed Gio about the nature of their outing. Gio, oblivious to the romantic implications, shared that, although Sifa chose the destinations, the day didn't feel like a date to him. Annie's assessment, however, painted a different picture, suggesting Gio was light years away from being Sifa's romantic interest. Feeling a sense of despondency after Annie's words, Gio returned to their table, prompting Sifa to inquire about the conversation. While he evaded specifics, the deflated demeanor didn't escape her notice. Trying to uplift his spirits, she suggested that good food could remedy his mood, emphasizing her straightforward approach. Despite the unconventional nature of their outing, Gio found solace in Sifa's company. She confessed her intention to share her favorite places, hoping he'd enjoy them as much as she did. Realizing her efforts, Gio felt a wave of relief. As they continued their day, Sifa suggested one last destination, her house. Anticipation and nervousness intertwined as they approached. However, instead of a familial introduction, they were met with a commotion from the family workshop. Sifa's father, Billy, greeted them and revealed a predicament involving a debt to a certain Hazier. Hazier, the creditor, arrived to collect his overdue payment, raising concerns about the missing client who had placed an order. Tensions escalated as Hazier proposed using Sifa as collateral. Amidst the turmoil, Gio intervened, urging Hazier to. Despite Billy's reassurance of repaying the debt, Hazier remained impatient, threatening the family workshop. As the situation unfolded, Gio found himself entangled in a crisis far beyond the scope of their supposed non-date. Sifa, now aware of the impending challenge, looked to Gio with a mix of concern and determination, setting the stage for an unforeseen turn of events. In the midst of the chaos, he reassured them that things were acceptable, though he couldn't precisely gauge the current state of affairs. The shop boasted skilled craftsmen and a loyal clientele, but recent troubles with new customers had plunged them into deep financial trouble. Frustrated and desperate, he found himself at a tavern one night when a man named Hazier caught his attention. Initially, Hazier seemed like a good Samaritan. Things appeared promising after securing a fake merchant's order, but Hazier abruptly cut off all contact. Now, faced with extending the loan repayment deadline, the situation grew dire. The workers were dissatisfied, suspecting Hazier's intention was not just a swindle, but an attempt to prevent debt repayment. As he pondered Hazier's motives, Sifa contemplated using the reward from defeating an area boss. However, 3 days proved insufficient. When Gio inquired about the debt amount, he was shocked to learn it was a hefty 500 gold coins, an impossible sum in such a short time. Undeterred, Gio promised Sifa he would do everything in his power to help. Gio suspected Hazier might target Sifa, motivating him to assist. Despite brainstorming various solutions, selling crops wouldn't be timely. Unable to locate Laruka, a mysterious merchant who collected his crops, Gio sought her at the Merchants Guild. Elusive as she was, Laruka miraculously appeared. Grateful for her assistance, Gio explained the dire situation. Faced with the impossibility of selling gold or due to legal restrictions, Gio considered mithril a rare air he grew in his garden. Laruka suggested entrusting the business dealing to her. They visited Sifa's father's shop, where Laruka, introducing herself, proposed a massive order of 200 sets of swords and shields in exchange for a quantity of mithril. Although skeptical, Sifa's father, Billy, accepted the deal. Laruka paid up front with a bunch of mithril, shocking Billy. Laruka revealed the deal was on Gio's behalf, instilling trust in Billy. However, the situation took a dark turn when Hazier, accompanied by comrades, confronted them, demanding the increased debt of 1,500 gold coins. Gio, determined to protect Sifa, stood against Hazier. Laruka intervened, revealing that the client behind the deal was the lord of the land. Hazier reluctantly accepted the original 500 coins and departed. Gio, initially frozen, was praised by Sifa's grateful father. Hazier, infuriated by the failed plan, learned of Larusa's connection to a brother and sister living in a house frequently visited by Gio. Meanwhile, Marlene and Dennis, in a separate narrative, crafted a new potion that allowed underwater breathing using air flowers. In the realm of dry land, Gio found himself immersed in an unusual scenario where air flowers, a rare ingredient thriving thousands of meters above sea level, were presented to him by an enigmatic figure named Dennis. Marlene, ever mischievous, couldn't resist keeping a bottle of water she had just shared with Gio, much to Dennis's bewilderment. As they bantered, Sifa, a newcomer, entered the scene seeking Dennis and Marlene. Emerging from their discussion, they greeted Sifa, who had arrived just in time to witness Marlene completing a new potion. Meanwhile, at Gio and Sina's abode, it was dinner time. For Milk, the oversized cat, Sina remarked on Milk's substantial growth, attributing it to more than just milk consumption. Gio, realizing Milk's monstrous nature, pondered over the pet's peculiar behavior towards Sina. As Sina prepared for an adventurous outing, her party gathered at the entrance to an unexplored underwater area. Thanks to Marlene's potion, they could breathe effortlessly and navigate underwater without getting wet. Meanwhile, back at Gio's